I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't
God.
that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Mitchell, a bullet back up the middle. That'll score Terang. Gets away from Amaya. Here comes Churio to score on a wild pitch. And Bowers into right center, a base hit. That will score Contreras. There's a fly ball. Deep left center, headed towards the bleachers, and in the basket and gone. Bryce Terang, a 2-run shot. The Brewers will take that shot in the arm. Ground ball to short. Ortiz. Throw hop, a throw in time, and the Brewers take down the Cubs 5-2. They've secured the series victory and can go for the gravy tomorrow night.
Gravy it is. Audio courtesy of the Brewers Television Network. A victory over the Cubs. And would you looky there, the first place Milwaukee Brewers. Woo! It felt like a rough ride getting here, didn't it?
Yeah, but damn, does it feel good.
Yeah, we're here. We're here. You're here. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. A lot of Brewers to catch up on today. Some news out of the NFL that affects the Packers? Question mark. What are the Bucs up to with their prep for the draft? That's what we're going to worry about. The prep for the draft.
Uh-huh.
Plus, the Badgers made a big announcement about a big tailgate party in Green Bay
for
their big game at Lambeau Field. Yeah, look at me finding the party. Shocker. Shocker. All right, let's play catch up.
Packers.
All right. This isn't great news. Sorry. Just apologize in advance.
Uh-oh.
This may piss off both the gold and the green ticket package holders.
Oh, so everyone.
Yeah.
Finally something for everyone.
Nobody is going to escape this if indeed this happens. The NFL owners are in their spring meetings as they prepare for the OTAs and the summer and training camp and then the 2026 season. They voted unanimously to increase the maximum number of league-run international games per season from 8 to 10 starting next year. Who cares? Well, I think we do. The NFL teams that are involved, which is all of them now, can no longer protect the home game. So if you think you're upset right now about your season tickets at Lambeau Field this year, particularly with the gold package having at least 2 of the division games in the regular season, imagine, Josh, if the NFL says, hey, Packers, Bears, why don't you guys go and play that game instead of Lambeau Field over in London? Okay?
Do you think that they'd be that stupid?
I think they'd be that smart.
No.
I know. Nope. Hear me out. Stupid to us, smart to everyone else. Horrible for us to lose a game at Lambeau Field in the division. Terrible. But from the NFL's perspective, that's why those games are scheduled at the end of the season typically, and that's why they're always TBD from a start time.
Divisional game, I understand. But specifically Packers-Bears. Because you think about, I'm not even just talking about ticket sales. I'm talking about TV.
Mm-hmm.
Packers-Bears is prime time.
Mm-hmm.
The entire nation watches Packers-Bears. International games do not go on Sunday Night Football because of the time difference. So you're doing that game in London, it's a, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. start? I can't see them sacrificing that amount of views on national television for Packers-Bears, especially when the Bears are good again and the rivalry is back to an international game in the next couple of years.
I know.
If they go Packers Vikings, Packers line, sure.
But even in place of a home game, to think that we can't protect the division.
Sure.
I mean, for Matt LaFleur to go, guys, don't sell your tickets, man. We need you guys to be in the stands. To which the NFL would go, hold my beer.
Yeah. What tickets
Now,
are those exactly?
Who knows? But at the end of the day, that's the first place our mind goes. And look at the schedule this year, Josh. The Vikings are the ones we open the season with. That's at 325. Week 5 is the Chicago game. That's at 325. So they're not all of those games are in that primetime scenario. And if the NFL sees validity in moving a game like that overseas, they may actually, from a TV perspective, show the ability to have more people watch that game because it's the only game on TV. It just happens to be earlier in the day. I just thought it was fascinating when you see that and you're like, oh, God, here we go.
Yeah, and it being unanimous, too.
Right.
Meaning that everyone said, no, we see nothing wrong with what we're all voting on.
Well, it was
Let's go ahead.
unanimous to increase the number. Not sure if it was unanimous to not be able to protect one of those home games. But for the league as owners, think about that. For the league as owners to go, yeah, I guess we can go to 10 games. There must be something in it for them. They must get paid a boatload.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you think that might not be something that the Packers organization is always thinking about, but they're one team in the NFL.
Right.
And the rest of those owners, yeah, absolutely probably going, yeah, give me the money.
There was also the announcement in the NFL that the Super Bowl in 2030 will be in Nashville at the brand new, spanking shiny new Nashville Stadium in the Tennessee Titans. I have never considered going to the Super Bowl if the Packers aren't in it until now. The Super Bowl in Nashville? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, this year it's back at SoFi, and then the year after that, it is at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and then 2029, it's in Vegas. So 3 places that are pretty, common. No one's surprised. No real big shocker.
Right, but are those destinations for people that don't have skin in the game? Like, I'm not going to L.A. or Atlanta. I'd consider Vegas, but even that I think is going to be absolutely BS crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Atlanta is kind of the one. I think that going to SoFi is you're going to California. It's not like the worst trip to take for the Super Bowl. The point is it's places that they're comfortable. They're very comfortable. So them saying we're going to go to Nashville is kind of okay. So exploring, kind of going away from the generic ones from time to time.
May 20th, 2026. The Super Bowl in 2030. Mark my words. Prediction. Halftime show, Garth Brooks. Who says, I'll never play the halftime show because you don't get paid. And I'm not doing that for free. But in Nashville, I think somebody's going to throw him $1 or $2.
Yeah, I think it might be just like all of the country artists. It might be like 8 of them.
Big mashup. Yeah. All right, on to the Brewers. Let's go.
Brewers.
Winner, chicken dinner. I just watched that movie. I know it's not a sports movie, but I just watched 21.
Yeah.
No, I did it again. I've watched that movie now probably a dozen times.
Yeah, that's okay.
I just had the conversation about sports movies yesterday. Just can't really get into it. Brewers 5, Cubs 2, and now the first place Milwaukee Brewers, who a mere what, Josh, 2 weeks ago were flirting with the last place in the Central Division, and now we're in first.
Yeah, and also the Cubs were coming off of 2 10-game winning streaks.
And now have lost, I believe, 8 of their last 10.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's the coolest. Yeah.
Fun
Big
to
fan.
watch. Big fan of watching Cubs. Big fan tonight again at 6:40.
Yeah.
Because there's an off day tomorrow. By the way, Josh, Brewers don't play tomorrow.
They don't.
Nope.
Okay, got it.
Off day. Yep.
All right.
But 6:40 tonight, which means the get out of Dodge day is irrelevant because the Brewers are coming home and they're just down to the south. So why not play this game in prime time at Wrigley Field? There's a lot to cover from this game last night. First things first, let's go to the bullpen for a hot second.
Yeah.
Chad Patrick out of the pen, I like better than Chad Patrick on the bump to start the game.
Agreed. Yeah, he's been a refreshing piece in that bullpen that was frustrating in the beginning of the year.
Oh, you guys didn't talk about the Miz first? Yeah, we have an entire segment dedicated to the Miz. The Malat Meets Morning Mind Dump coming up at the top of the hour. But let's just be real. The Miz is who we thought he is. Another killer game for the Miz on the mound. What was the final strikeout total? 8 now. So he's up to 88 on the season. Only 74 pitches. Got yoinked after the 6th. We'll hear from both him and Murph in the Malat Meets Morning Mind Dump about what all that was about. But he improves to 4-2 and lowers his ERA to 1.89. It is now 24 and a half innings ago that he allowed a run.
Let me knock out every single
knock on wood for that. He can allow, like, it's okay. I'm down with the 0. That's great.
Miz is pitching at a level that, small market or not, Cy Young conversations have to be considered.
Mm-hmm.
And that is beautiful. I think we all kind of looked at when Sproat was on the mound yesterday, or 2 days ago, I should say, and went, all right, they won that game. We got a really good shot now at the series. But you still kind of didn't know. Anything could have happened. Anything could have changed. And Miz goes out there and goes, no, this is going to go exactly as you thought it was. Yep.
Well, you heard Rami yesterday, too, say, I think they might, if they win last night, they might sweep the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. We were afraid of the reverse jinx, but it didn't work.
No. Did you see David Hamilton have a sneaky good game last night?
I did. After he bobbled one.
Yeah, he booted that one early on. That would have been a double play. It didn't hurt us. Nothing happened after that. But 1 for 3 at the plate with a bunt single again. So fast. A run scored, a walk, and 2 stolen bases. If anything, it makes teams now look at the 9-hole in the lineup and go, we got to pay attention to that.
Yeah. Yep. It's very interesting, too, because you see positives and negatives when he's in instead of Ortiz. You kind of go, oh, all right. There's an opportunity here. And then he has that blunder, and you're like, God, and this is why we keep going back to Ortiz. But then he does things like you just said, gets on base, and it's like, no, I'm getting second. I mean, a stolen base turns a single into a double. That's how that works. You know, you think about, you're not hitting for power. Doesn't matter if you end up at second on a bunt single, might as well have been. So, yeah, those are absolutely huge things that he is adding to this lineup.
Well, and that's something that we think we all can relate to, is a blunder in sports. So coming up actually towards the bottom of the hour in the I Have Questions portion of the show, that's our question to you. It's been really fun going back in time and remembering all of our best moments, our favorite moments, our core memories when it comes to sports. And unfortunately, every single one of us has a sports blunder that is there in the old memory bank that makes us go, boy, I wish I could delete that one. And not only from my mind, but from everybody else's mind that was watching as well. That's the question. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. What is your biggest sports blunder that you're willing to admit to us? Remember, safe place. We won't tell anyone.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Rake Bowers continues to rake. His on-base streak goes to 20 games. Here's his RBI single.
2 on with 2 out in the 3rd. And Bowers into right center, a base hit. That will score Contreras. They're on the corners again. Another RBI for Jake Bowers.
So what's going so well for him at the plate, specifically this year and specifically in spring training? What changed? He was actually on the MLB Network, and here's what he had to say.
I think a lot of it comes down to clarity in the batter's box. I spent years and years thinking about mechanics, worrying if my swing was right, and it's hard to hit in the major leagues when you got that going on in the back of your head. So really just tried to boil it down, get it as simple as possible, and that's see the baseball, hunt the inside part of it, man. Me and Jason Lane have been talking about it a lot over the last 3 seasons now. So just really committed to that, and brings a lot of clarity when you're in the batter's box.
Yeah, just clear heads matter when you're trying to do your job.
I'm totally one of those baseball fans that I don't care why. Just don't touch it. Just keep doing it. You found something, keep doing it. And Jake Bowers has found something. Jakey, keep doing it. Works for me.
Badgers have a party on the docket in Green Bay when they are here at Lambeau Field to play Notre Dame Labor Day weekend. The announcement was made yesterday. The station that I'm at, WNFL, is involved in bringing that party to life downtown Green Bay. So if you're coming up to Green Bay and you're statewide on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, get ready. This is going to be a party. It's going to be downtown on Broadway in the downtown area. Parades, block parties, music, fireworks, a family football combine. I know that these are a good time because I have been to one, exactly one, when it was an away game and the Badgers throw their tailgate party. January 2nd, 2006, Capital One Bowl. Joe Thomas blew out his ACL. It was Barry Alvarez's last game as the official head coach. Not all this I'll come back and coach you stuff that he was doing. Yeah. The party that the Badgers throw before these games, highly recommended.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
Really good time. A lot of beverages, a lot of band, a lot of red.
Like that.
Well, but it kind of sucks too. With all due respect to all the things on Broadway in downtown Green Bay, which I love. It's a fantastic area. Notre Dame has the home game, so guess who took over the Lambeau Field area? Yeah, annoying.
Well, that's probably why they're trying to do other stuff. They're doing the block parties and something else because the actual Lambeau Field is going to be the away team. It should be the away team.
It's going to look a lot like the original uniforms of the Packers.
Right. That'll be interesting.
Gross
Indeed.
Bucks news? Kinda. Oh, I think it's rumor more than news. Jeremy Woo of ESPN did a mock draft, Josh, and talked about how Shams Charania reported last week that the Bucks are obviously open for business as they weighed trade possibilities for Giannis. However, while the Bucks, per Jeremy Woo, hold only the number 10 pick in the draft, rival teams with conversations with Milwaukee have said that they're acting as if they have multiple selections in this year's draft. And that's been a lot of conversation. What if the Bucks could land another lottery pick in the Giannis potential trade to have 2 in the top 10 this year?
Yeah. Again, I really think it comes down to where that pick is. The 10th pick to me is not a good pick. That is not, I don't care how good the draft is. I don't know that there's ever been a draft where there's 10 elite franchise-changing players in a draft. That's insane, right? So if somehow someone in the top 5 was willing to trade their pick, then we're having a conversation. But also, there's concern with Giannis that these teams that are in the top 5 are questioning, is it worth us now taking a chance on one of these new guys to get Giannis? Are we in a position to where we're just a Giannis away in comparison to getting one of these guys that are being touted as a franchise-changing player? I don't think so. I think we keep our pick. And those are the conversations that are going against these rumors of the Bucks are acting like, yeah, we got multiple picks. Do you?
Going to be interesting to watch.
Sure will.
Anything else?
Anything else?
You're leaving on a jet plane?
I am. This is the absolute craziest time and thing. This is straight up just fallout from Spirit Airlines dying. And we had a quick Memorial Day trip planned. And that immediately went away when Spirit died. And so we had everything else booked. And so we had to scramble. And the cheapest flight that we could get to still allow the trip to happen was to leave Thursday. So I'm back out. Thanks, Spirit.
That's a bummer. Here's 2 things from my world in the anything else portion of the show. Number 1, came in this morning, getting ready, doing the bull dance, feeling the flow. One of my coworkers, while I'm in here, apparently almost delivered a baby in the parking lot.
Excuse me now?
Yep. So there's a woman on a walk this morning who is potentially roughly 5 to 6 months pregnant, who thought, based on her walk, that she was now in labor. And we here in our building in Green Bay had to call 911 so that she was able to go to a hospital and hopefully not have a baby that early.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a way to start your day.
Oh, my goodness. So she's okay? Has anything been confirmed? We have no idea.
No, and we're not going to know. That's the weird part about that whole HIPAA thing.
Ooh.
I know. Can you imagine? Hey, good morning. Will you come over here for a second? Apparently, get this. My coworker, who's a female, thank God, based on what 911 said, had to check.
Oh, my.
To make sure there was, we're all parent, you and I are parents.
Yeah.
No crowning. Can you see the head?
Oh,
where are we at?
Oh, man.
Can you? Hi, good to meet you. My name's Trevor. I have a request, and this is going to be weird. So thank God.
Yeah. I mean,
her.
it still couldn't have been comfortable.
Well, I don't think so, but I think it's different coming from a person that has been in those positions before. No head, by the way.
Okay, good. Jesus.
Can you imagine? God. One more real quick thing. I just a shout out to, this is weird. We're going to go to the other end of the spectrum now.
Yeah, I'll try to pivot from this. Good luck.
My son's 8th grade class graduates today, and this is now the last day of school in a school here in Green Bay at St. Mark Lutheran that we've been a part of for 13 straight years. And that comes to an end with graduation tonight. They have some water fight tomorrow and then go and do games and probably go see a movie or something. But it is the end of an era in our household. And whoa, it's insane to think that we have 2 high schoolers all of a sudden. And that brought on a lot of tears lately in my house, which I'm not like ashamed of by any means. But at the same token, like, dang, these are some of those life moments that I didn't necessarily plan for, I suppose. Isn't that funny how life works?
Yeah.
Can't plan for everything.
I mean, that's what happens, right? The kids grow up, you reminisce. That's how it goes.
Amanda says that this is what's supposed to happen. And so that helps us get through some of these moments. Like when Rhodey got his license. Well, that's supposed to happen. Or Rikers graduate in 8th grade and we're going to have 2 high schoolers. Well, that's supposed to happen.
Right. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That you get there. Doesn't mean it's not emotional.
Wildly emotional when we embarrass ourselves on the playing field. So let's just have some admittance, shall we? I have questions as next. And the question today, when did you embarrass yourself? What was your biggest sports blunder? I have more than one. Oh, this song. Thanks.
You're welcome.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious. Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. What is your biggest sports blunder? We're really looking for yours. If you need to throw someone else under the bus, I guess you can. Poor Brandon Bostic.
No. I mean, that was like the biggest one
Ever.
I mean, you can add Romeo
biggest?
Dobbs to that list too, right?
Well, yeah, but Bostic's was so much more impactful.
Yeah, by like a
Is
million.
that the biggest? This is going to go off the rails. Is that the biggest Wisconsin sports blunder ever?
100%.
There's like nothing else that even comes close in my mind.
Yeah. No, I mean, there were games that you felt that way, but specific moments to where a specific player kind of blew it? No. I don't think anything tops that.
Yeah. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Does your sports blunder top that? That's what we want to know. What's your biggest sports blunder in the memory bank that has been your life? Josh, I asked you yesterday if you have one, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Yep. Still do.
What is it?
Think about it all the time. So, collegiate bowling, when I'm bowling for UW Milwaukee, we are at state. We end up tying to where there's a one-game roll-off with Whitewater, and I leave an 8-pin on my shot. So first of all, if you don't know how college bowling works, it's 5 people who bowl one game. So it's like the first person bowls the first and the 6th and second, 7th, 8th, so on and so forth.
Every other ball or every other inning?
Like frame, each frame. So if hopefully you're striking, and so you only have one ball. But
yeah.
So the best you can do is 2 strikes per game per person, right? Besides whoever bowls the final frame. Anyway.
Oh, that was you.
What?
In the sports blunder, are you the final frame?
No.
Oh.
I got lucky that I was right before, but I was still the 9th. I was the I was the 4th and the 9th. And in the 9th, I threw and I left a 8-pin. Okay? Just pick it up. I tugged it. I missed it.
Oh.
Can't afford to do that in a one-game roll-off. I was crushed. I was absolutely crushed. Lucky for me, the next guy on Whitewater's team, like that needed a strike, didn't. He got a spare. He left it to where we could still win, but our anchor bowler at that time needed to strike out to win it by like 2, and he did.
Oh, he did? Sweet.
So we still won, but like if he wouldn't have pulled that out, it would have been Josh missing the 8-pin is the sole reason why we didn't win state.
You're a lefty bowler?
Mm-hmm.
So when you say you yanked it, you threw a gutter ball on the right side of the lane?
No, I tugged it. So I pulled it across my body, so I missed the pin to the right.
Yeah. Oh, but you would have hit the 9 or 10 pin.
Yep.
Ooh.
But not the pin that was standing.
Yeah. The only pin that was
correct.
Standing.
When the thing is, I didn't even need a strike in that moment. Just keep it clean. Didn't leave a split, complete makeable spare, tugged it. Pressure got to me. Still think about that.
Well, you were at least in college. Mine happened in high school. And this is I know how this is going to go over. I missed a dunk at home. And when I say missed it, I mean it was that dunk that when you let go of the breakaway rim, it sent the ball into the ceiling. Like, ding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of those fun ones.
It wasn't did he just miss that? It was that was, ooh. Now, I had another dunk in I dunked twice my senior year of high school and then dunked like a dozen times in college. But I just was 1 year behind always, youngest in my class. The dunk at home was like the sports moment of my life. We talked yesterday about you black out when that happens. I had to go back and watch that tape in Mr. Wadner's room all the time just to relive it because I had nothing.
Yeah.
Totally freaked out. The missed dunk, I remember very well. No blackout there. Why doesn't that work?
Right. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So what? I mean, was it an important moment though? Like, was it one that if you did it, it changes the game?
Nope. When you miss a dunk, it is the thing that everybody. I have no idea if we won the game. I don't know what time of the game it was.
The rest of the game didn't matter.
Didn't matter because that's something you just never forget. That and an honorable mention here. When I started playing softball up here in Northeast Wisconsin, this is unlimited arc territory. So back home, it's 6 to 12. They call it chuck and duck. 12-inch softball, 6 to 12-foot arc, and it's just a hitting frenzy. Up here, the leagues I got in were 14-inch unlimited arc. Holy fool, Batman.
Yeah. Falling out of the sky.
Awful. You just whiff and whiff and whiff and go, why am I doing this?
Yeah. Did you have a strikeout? Did you have
all of them?
All
of them. In the beginning, I couldn't hit any of it. And ironically, in the end, couldn't hit any of it. My last regular at-bat in beer league softball, I went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. That's when I decided maybe we're done. That was an embarrassing game. I got home quickly. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. There's a bunch now, and these are fantastic. Who are you going to first?
I'm going to this one that just came in from the 414. Says, came out of the bullpen for Cardinal Stritch. No, rest in peace. Get on the mound, warm up, 4 hitters up, and runners are on first and third. I attempt a pickoff move to second base because I didn't like the sign. My cleat gets caught in the rubber. I balk. Tying run scores. My coach comes out and pulls me out of the game without even throwing a single pitch.
Oh, why were we doing a pickoff move to second? There was nobody on second.
Yeah,
first and third.
Yeah, right.
Ouchie.
That's a rough day.
You imagine. Out he comes. You just hand the ball. See you later.
It's funny. Just like at this point, obviously, like that's in college. Now at this point, I read all these stories as the parent in the crowd.
Oh,
like you're watching that. That's your kid. Oh, God.
Our son is the center. He could have 100 snaps in a row that were perfect. But the one that happens to go over his head or under his feet in terms of the quarterback, all of the eyes go right to us.
Right. That's your boy.
Did you see the 100 before that by chance?
Who cares? What about that one he messed up?
Andy in Brookfield.
Yeah.
7th grade basketball. I stole an inbound pass and had a breakaway layup to the wrong basket. Score 2 for the bad guys. Okay.
I love that.
I'm going to tell you before Jason in the 920 does, I did the exact same thing in grade school.
You just get so excited.
I didn't score for the other team, but I was definitely playing defense on offense.
You just forget.
100%.
You just forget where you are.
But that's not even a blunder for me. That was very normal.
I love the fact that you actually score. When you actually score, because you're so excited in that moment, and then you just you look around and everyone hates you.
You're excited.
What happened? Why? Why is everyone mad?
And if you watch that tape back, everybody in the gym, no,
what?
No, and
waving their arms. No. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And then you score, you're like, yeah. And then you turn around and you're like,
okay.
So somebody mentioned Bostic earlier, and Josh and I said, is that the biggest sports blunder ever in Wisconsin sports? The answer is yeah. But then the 414 brings up another good one. And I know exactly where I was, Josh, and how I was watching the game when Trent Grisham kicked it in right field in the 2019 wild card.
Yeah, against the Nationals. That too. That was rough. We remember that. However, that was a wild card. This was for a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If he would have done that in a game 5 of the NLC or 7 of the NLCS, like if it would have been for a chance to go to the World Series and Grisham blunders that, I think that tops Bostic's. But you got to take, if we're not going personal stories and we're going professional athlete stories, I think you got to take the severity of the moment into consideration when ranking them. And a trip to the Super Bowl is hard to top.
By far the first. But that Trent Grisham one, specifically coming off of the 2018 season, to have it end like that in the wild card,
you're
like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it sucked.
Did you see him misplay one in center when the Yankees were in town?
No.
Yeah. And I was like, I remember that.
Yeah. He ended up doing fine for himself. Sure.
Sophomore year of high school. This is the 262. New JV center. Never played a game before, but practice was great. 6 snaps over the QB's head. And I was a guard for the rest of my career. That's why Rhodey hates playing center. He's like, Dad, do you understand the pressure? To which all of us are like, dude, only you and the quarterback at the most touch the ball every single play. He's like, that's my point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to touch the ball every single play? But you're really good, dude. Like, you really, yeah, until that one.
Right.
And that's when the eyeballs go your way. What is your biggest sports blunder? They're flying in now. We'll get to more on the Nicolay Law Talking text line, 414-677-1250. When we get back with the most electrifying sound of the day.
Speaking of sports blunders.
PCA. We got to hate watch that SOB last night. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
It's time for
The most electrifying,
Sound of the Day
the most electrifying.
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate is in the 8 spot. 2 away. Swing and a miss. He got it. There's that curveball again. Now he drives one into the gap in right center, but Pete Crow Armstrong is there and drops it. Frelick will end up at second base as one of the game's best center fielders just dropped a routine fly ball. Struck him out with a fastball that Crow almost went down.
And that was PCA's lowlights in last night's Cubs loss. Call courtesy of Jeff Levering and Brewers TV. And that is the most electrifying sound of the day. Brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. When it comes to sports blunders, I don't know why, but watching PCA make them is just the cherry on top. The cherry, the sprinkles, everything you could ask for on top of a big Brewers win.
Personally, for you, Josh, why do we as Brewers fans have so much disdain for PCA?
Yeah, he's just one of those guys. He's one of those guys. He's a very emotional player. We've seen him, like, he has an attitude. We just saw it against the White Sox, which even Craig Counsell had to apologize on his behalf, say you can't do that. You know, he's an emotional player, but he's better than that, and blah, blah, blah. Like, that type of guy. We saw him, you know, in that NLDS series last year, showing that same type of attitude against the Brewers and the Milwaukee fans at American Family Field. And it was so much fun to troll him then, too. Remember when those home runs were hit and he jumped as if he was going to try to catch them? He needed like three ladders to get up that high. But it's just the fact that he plays for the Cubs and is that type of player is the chef's kiss of being able to hate watch a guy like that, especially when he makes sports blunders like essentially not necessarily routine, but a very catchable fly ball to center.
Yeah, Vinny made a good excuse for him. The glove got in the way. Yeah, well, you kind of know where your glove's at and where the ball is.
The glove got in the way. You need the glove to catch the ball.
Maybe you don't put the glove in between the ball and your eyes. Just a thought. Fun to watch and hate watch at the same time. Like, watch our favorite team beat the Cubs, win the series, and finish the night in first place in the Central. And at the same time, we get to hate watch that guy.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Fan. Fun to watch a blunder. Fun to read all of your blunders. What is your biggest sports blunder? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. By the way, coming up in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump, The Miz. Holy mother. Major mechanic changes for him, and he doesn't watch his own tape. Plus, we'll hear from he as to why he left at the end of the 6th, and we'll also hear from Murph as to why The Miz left at the end of the 6th. It's all good news.
Yes.
No cramps.
No injury concerns. We'll tell you that.
Listen to this blunder from Matt P. He goes, I played softball. Nope, I played baseball. I'm so used to all these beer league softball stories. I played baseball at The Rock in Franklin for the better part of a decade. For like 4 or 5 nights a week I was playing. Damn. I was the catcher for all but one of the games every week. I've never played anywhere else. I would DH on my days off, if you will. Well, first game of the playoffs, our starting left fielder got hurt. And guess who went out there to play left field for the first time in his life? Moi. First pitch, the batter hits a soft fly between me and the third baseman. And I've never experienced this, Josh. Maybe you haven't either. My body reacted before my brain.
Don't know what that means.
Literally all day, every day. And he face planted on like the first or second step in left field. The stands were packed. It was playoffs. Everybody's friends and family were there, including his own. And my high school baseball coach and his family came out to watch the game. If the outfield were made of sand, I would have buried my head, Matt says. By the way, the rest of the game went fine. Caught the only other 2 fly balls hit to me. Had a double and a triple with 2 RBIs and 3 at-bats. But you think anybody remembers that? No. Everybody still talks about the face plant 8 years later. Very normal, Matt. Very normal when you have a blunder like that.
I got one more I'm going to get in here quick from the 608.
Go.
Said I was a pitcher my junior year, came in to close out the game in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs and runners on 2nd and 3rd. Got hitter to hit a soft grounder back to me, had plenty of time and threw a nice soft toss to first and airmailed my first baseman. Ball rolled down the right field line as I watch a tying and winning run score as I lay in the grass in shame.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep.
That's hard.
That's
my
not
body
the one.
hurts for you right now. I don't. How long ago was that? Junior year. I don't know how old you are, but my body just cringed. Like, that was a bad one. All right, good way to end it. The end of the 6th was the way the Miz ended it last night, but it didn't matter because he had one incredible performance before that with 8 Ks, lowering his ERA, 88 strikeouts on the year. Let's react to the Miz in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump when we get back on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Mitchell, a bullet back up the middle. That'll score Terang. Gets away from Amaya. Here comes Churio to score on a wild pitch. And Bowers into right center, a base hit. That will score Contreras. There's a fly ball. Deep left center, headed towards the bleachers, and in the basket and gone. Bryce Terang, a 2-run shot. The Brewers will take that shot in the arm. Ground ball to short. Ortiz. Crow hop, a throw in time, and the Brewers take down the Cubs 5-2. They've secured the series victory and can go for the gravy tomorrow night.
The final score, Brewers 5, Cubs 2. You heard it there from Jeff Levering on the Brewers television network. They go for the sweep, and they are the first place Milwaukee Brewers.
Hell yeah.
And the Bats had the back of the blowtorch in Jacob Mizorowski, which is a great thing to have when a guy like that has the start that he does.
Yeah.
Aaron Ashby.
Well, I was going to say, it did get a little squirrely there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Didn't like that. That was after Bryce Terang had a 2-run shot.
One of the boys in the hood on the old group text in my neighborhood said, I want to punch Aaron Ashby in the glasses.
I put in our group chat with some buddies. I said, so is Ashby just going to blow this lead so that he can be the winning pitcher? Is that his thought process here? Is I'll tie it 5-5 so that we can come back and take the lead in the 9th?
It felt like, I feel like somebody else said that in ours too. It felt like he was trending in that way, but it really wasn't as bad. If we just kind of look back, it just felt worse because you're like, oh, geez. Oh, God. Oh, crap. Oh, no.
Well, they had an opportunity, right? Like there was a time when the tying run was at the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like that.
No. We love you, though. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports on your radio statewide on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Those studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
And all of your reaction on Jacob Mizorowski. Time for the Malott Meets Morning Mind Up.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump, presented by Malott Meats. High-quality meats at a fair price, safely delivered to your front door. To learn more, visit WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Experience the power of the family meal with Malott Meats on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The T-bone is the steak of the month. Let's go. WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Malott Meats. It's grilling season, Wisconsin. Not that it ever really wasn't, but it's really grilling season, Wisconsin. So get on the website, WisconsinMeatMarket.com, and have high-quality meats at a fair price delivered right to your door. And experience the power of the family meal with our friends at Malott Meats. The Miz had a night last night, and that's kind of been his MO this season. He's on a tear. 6 innings pitched last night. Only 3 hits allowed, no runs, no earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, but he only threw 74 pitches in those 6 innings, which had us as fans kind of going, uh-oh, this is like the third-ish game in a row where he doesn't go as far as we thought he was going to based on cramping, ? Well, they talked to the Miz after the game, and they also talked to Murph after the game as to why he left the game at the time that he did. Here's the Miz.
I think it was more just like the boys we were up by 3, and it's not worth me trying to scrounge 3 outs, and I can turn it over to our bullpen, who's been excellent, and have those guys take off and do their job and succeed.
That doesn't make any sense. It's not worth Miz. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 8 strikeouts.
Right.
What do you mean it's not a good idea to have you try to scrounge 3 outs after 74 pitches? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You should be able to do that, right?
Well, the other thing is that he's proven he can.
Right.
In his last few starts, he's had 90, mid-90s, 90. Like he's been more in that range. So you would have thought, if you're just looking at the pitch count number, that he should be able to go in the 7th or at least start it. Maybe he doesn't get all the way through if he has a little bit of trouble, if he walks a guy or someone gets a base hit. But you would think if he's going to get to 90, he's got 16 more pitches to throw in that 7th inning, which might be enough to get out of.
Well, it should be.
You would think.
So is there something missing here, Murph? Why did you pull the Miz after 6 innings?
Ran out of gas, and understandable. Young kid throws hard. It just, he said he was good. That was it.
When you say ran out of gas, was it a little cramping again at the end?
No.
Or just he said.
No. Said, look, I think I can give you this inning, the 6th. Not sure I can give you anything past that. So he did it. Did a great job of it.
I'm still.
Okay, Dad.
I have questions.
I have questions in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Up.
Because, first of all, it was, if you watch that game, his velocity was also down a tad. He wasn't throwing heat like he was against the Yankees, where it was 103, 103, 103, still 101, like he was still getting there, but it was down a wee bit. Just a little
Jeff
bit.
And Vinny were joking about that during the game on how he didn't have his best stuff, but he was still throwing 101.
Right. So, but still, in comparison to what we saw against the Yankees, it was down. And then you hear from Murph, and Murph's answer is that Miz goes, yeah, I can give you the 6, but then that's it. That to me makes it seem like, all right, you if you're the Miz, are telling your skip, I can't go 103, 104, and also I can't go 89, 96 for pitches.
Is that concerning?
Just because of what he is, right? Like, he is a unicorn that we have. And you worry about how long a unicorn can do what they're doing. That was why, and I'm obviously, it's not just the fan base that's worrying about it. The Brewers last year were so concerned about that.
Right.
It didn't matter what his pitch count was at. He never pitched past the 4th. It was like that was it. Very low pitch counts for the Miz. But then we saw him this year start to creep up and put up some higher numbers. And then it seemed like in this game he didn't. I wonder if for himself, he just knew he wasn't feeling as loose. And so he just communicated that. I'm sure there's something that they have set in place of, Miz, if you feel anything, if you're feeling any type of anything, you let us know immediately. And so it might have just been that he was like, you know what? We've got the lead. I'm not going to push myself. Murph, I can give you the 6th, probably not the 7th. That's where we're at tonight.
So for me, and no, this isn't pessimistic, Trevor, to the 920. I'm still optimistic. I just have questions. And the question to me is, if you threw 5 innings and you went to your skip and you said, I can give you the 6th, but nothing more, does that not make you go, hold on, it's only the 5th? And for me as a fan, watching the games that Miz pitches in, you can't help but go, golly, like he is all gas, no break, phenomenal at what he's doing. And it is worrisome, specifically when he does throw as hard as he does. Anybody with a baseball brain whatsoever goes, that, to your point, Josh, has never been done before.
Yeah. Yeah. That being said, though, the Brewers, if they're going to be a legitimate team, when you have a starter that goes 6 scoreless, you better win those games.
Mm-hmm.
So his reasoning for coming out, I'm absolutely okay with. Like, I do not look at that response from Miz of, yeah, I didn't want to push it. We had the lead. I was like, let's give it to the bullpen. Yeah, especially considering that the day before you had Drowan who took it the rest of the way. So it saved a lot of those bullpen arms that didn't have to be used. So great, then you use them now. And then McGill comes in, has a great inning following Miz's exit, even better, right? Kind of proving the point that Miz was making. I just thought that maybe the Ashby move in the 8th was a little weird. I didn't feel like that was usually when we would have put Ashby out there. And then it seemed like then Ashby was the one that struggled. But Murph didn't waste time, right? Got him out of there. And then Uribe in the 9th and the game's over. So as long as there's nothing wrong, I'm good with both of those answers and very, very happy with Miz's performance.
Well, but that's what leaves you scratching your head a little bit. Is there something wrong? It's the 3rd game now where Miz hasn't been able to keep going, right? Do it once. What is the saying? Something, it's a trend, right? 3 times is a trend. So that's the only reason we bring it up is obviously the guy is the ace of the staff. From a Brewers perspective, there's nobody better. Every time he pitches, it is a national story.
Mm-hmm.
For all the good reasons, by the way.
Yeah.
For a team in Milwaukee.
Yeah. I like the trend of 6 innings and scoreless baseball.
Cool.
So if I'd much rather have that than him push himself into the 7th and have that be a problem. It was frustrating looking at the numbers itself, but it's also frustrating for the other teams watching the Miz. So I would take 6 innings of Miz over 7 innings of the next guy.
It actually is a pretty vet move, too, to go, listen, we have the lead. The bullpen is super fresh. I don't feel like I have my best. Hey, Murph, I'll give you the 6th without any concern, but I'm probably done after that. The young, wild, kind of unbalanced Jacob Mizorowski on the mound that we saw last year, who was being held way back, is a different cat this year.
Mm-hmm.
That conversation proves it, but so too does his mechanics. Vinny Rotino, who was on the broadcast last night with Jeff Levering on Brewers TV, Vinny obviously played, but he's a scout at heart, and he knows it's very much like listening to Tom Brady or Tony Romo watch a football game. That's what it's like when Vinny is on the mic for the Brewers TV broadcast. He can see and tell the things that we as the common folk don't necessarily recognize. There was a side-by-side comparison in the game last night where Vinny was talking about how his mechanics have changed quickly in the matter of less than a year, and that Miz put on 25 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's pure muscle. So the idea of the Miz being a little gassed last night based on a mechanic change, with that came even faster fastballs. For him to be a little gassed is maybe just what we need to expect from the Miz with some of the changes in regard to how he's pitching.
Danny in the 414 chimes in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line and says, seems like Miz is maturing really quickly and figuring out big league ball. With stretching out velo and pitch count management, he's becoming aware of how long the season is and getting a taste of the postseason. He really looks like he wants to be back there bad. That Danny in the 414. Yeah, it's a great point too, right? Like, I think that as fans, we kind of hate the term load management, but we also hate the term, injury and needing to go through that, especially with this Brewers team. So and that's the other thing too. I was frustrated last season when it was 4 innings. A starting pitcher going 4 innings was frustrating. I'm good with 6. I'm great with 6. 6 scoreless, I'll take that every single night.
What about after that, though? It was weird Trevor McGill came in, had a good 7th. Aaron Ashby comes in then for the 8th, gives up a couple, and Murph has to go to Chad Patrick out of the pen. Now, he got out of it. Nothing else happened. Uribe comes in, and I was nervous.
When Uribe came in?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't nervous after they got out of the 8th. That seemed like that was the Cubs' rally, was in the 8th, and they got through that in the bottom, and I went, okay, good, now let's shut this down, go home.
But there's a lot of people online that are questioning how Murph is using the bullpen specifically, and yesterday is a good example of that. Now, yeah, huge win, 5-2 Brewers, first place, not much to complain about. But it is interesting to kind of analyze and go, all right, hold on. McGill, Ashby, Patrick, Uribe. Josh, what are your thoughts on that mix right there?
It's a weird mixture for sure. I feel like a lot of what, to your point, of what Murph's done out of the bullpen has been surprising and sometimes confusing. But if it's confusing me, I'm hoping it's also confusing the other team and not exactly what they expected. I'm sure that there's also, a reason for all of it. Matchups, things that we don't understand or get clarification on, that why he's making the decision he is. I just feel like we're usually used to seeing Ashby in a 5th inning role, 5th or 6th inning role. That's why he has as many wins as he does, not because he's coming in the 8th. So that seemed weird to me, and I thought, why not just start with Patrick? Why not just bring Patrick in the 8th if you felt like you needed to? I guess if I had to, if I wouldn't have seen the game and I had to guess how the 7th, 8th, and 9th went, I would have probably assumed that it went Patrick in the 7th, McGill in the 8th, Uribe in the 9th. But that's not what he did. And it's just, we're left here going, okay. I mean, you know better than I do. You talk to these guys.
Yeah, McGill has been pitching really well, too, as the non-closer and even in some cases the non-setup man. That's a great problem to have with a confident Trevor McGill on the mound. The only other thing worth mentioning here in regard to Miz, and this came out in the broadcast last night, too. Did you see the report that Sophia was sharing in that he never watches his own tape? He never goes back and watches his mechanics, watches his performance, analyzes himself. He's like, what good is that going to do me? It's only going to make me question all the things. The coaches get to do that, and they'll tell me what I need to adjust. Josh, you and I, in our job, have meetings on the regular where we go back and watch/listen to our own tape. It's called an air check. In other businesses, I think of the trades. Imagine having somebody over your shoulder with a video camera and going, all right, man, we have to, I know you framed that house. It was your 97th house you framed this year. Let's go back and watch the tape and see if there's an opportunity for you to be better. I get it. When Miz says he doesn't want to watch the tape, I understand. That is not me. I am very much a how did we do, what can we do better type of guy. And I guess I don't take it personally when something is there to be better on. On the flip side, I'm not a professional athlete.
You're also not the Miz. That's the thing.
But if they're really picking apart like the stupid, simple things, he slipped last night on a plant. Is that the mound at Wrigley, or was that how he stepped? And by the way, every time that lanky SOB slips and does something weird on the mound, I hold my breath.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. So a few things. First, someone's watching the tape. Just because Miz isn't, doesn't mean no one is, right? Like the pitching staff is, they're analyzing, they're doing it. If there's a reason why him watching the tape he doesn't find beneficial, I'm going to trust him.
Cool.
Because he's doing good things. I think we're taking for granted the fact that when we first put Miz in this position and what we saw him do last year, there was still never a guarantee that he was going to make this progress, especially this quickly, in comparison to what he was doing last season. I am knocking on wood every day going, please just stay on this trajectory, Jacob Mizorowski. He is He is that guy. He is the guy right now that the national media is talking about and cannot ignore with the Brewers. And we have Bryce Terang. But the conversation is about, and Jackson Churio, the conversation is about Jacob Mizorowski. Just keep doing your thing, kid. Keep it up.
And that's the Malat Meats Morning Mind Dump. On a Would You Rather Wednesday, when we come back, 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text Line. What are the Would You Rather questions you have for us? And we hope you have some answers from ours. When we get back on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, Doug Gottlieb joins us at the top of the hour, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on a Would You Rather Wednesday. 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Doug Gottlieb, head coach of the GB men's basketball team, confirmed.
Do we have to pray? Do we still pray?
I don't think, not yet. Not yet. I mean, not that it wouldn't work now in comparison to 15 minutes from now, but I have no reason to believe. All right, screw it. Let's pray now. Dear
All right,
God,
let us pray.
Let's pray. Doug Gottlieb's a great guest for us on Inside Wisconsin Sports. We love him dearly. Every Wednesday. I mean, just uncanny. Including this Wednesday, that'd be great. Amen.
Amen.
Let us pray. That's fun.
Yep.
All right, Josh, you go.
Okay.
Would you rather?
Would you rather worry about losing your wallet or losing your keys?
Well, the problem is my wallet is also my phone. I have one of those man purse deals. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So I have spare keys and I know where they are. I do not have a spare phone or spare credit card or spare debit card or license or key to get me in the building. So I'm terrified to lose my wallet.
Okay.
You?
I would go, I'm more terrified to lose my keys because my wallet can come off, but I mean, it has a credit card and an ID in there, but I mean, I can shut those down, use Apple Pay. There are other ways to do things. It would be annoying, right? I'd have to get a new one. But if I lose my keys, one, I also have my key to get in the building on there. And two, those keys for like cars today are not cheap to get a replacement.
Truth.
And so if you lose one of those and you can't find it, it is not just an inconvenience of time like it would be getting an ID or a credit card replaced. It's a good chunk of change you're paying too. I worry more about losing my keys.
Who do you worry about more as a closer for the Milwaukee Brewers? Trevor McGill or Abner Uribe?
McGill.
You worry about more.
Yeah, because he wasn't doing it. There's a reason why he's not in that position right now.
But he's been really good in the position he's in now. So that's the question.
But that's not the closing role.
Fair.
So if he's back in the closing role, I'm worrying about it.
Okay.
You know, that's if he wasn't there, or if it was they were both doing well or the same, maybe it changes the conversation. But he lost that job. That's why he's doing well, but he lost that ninth inning spot.
I think that's because that's why. That's where my mind lands as to why I'm nervous no matter who's closing, because Trevor McGill was who he was.
Right.
So now Uribe's in there. He blew one recently, and I just can't get to the end of a Brewers game without thinking this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Would you rather sweep the Cubs at Wrigley or sweep the Cubs at AmFam?
Wrigley. I mean, it's not great when we lose to the Cubs at all at AmFam. So what I heard you say is we can still win the series, just not sweep them. But sweeping the Cubs at Wrigley is a sweet, sweet sound.
Doesn't that feel weird, though? Like, I'm not going to – there's a way, way less chance that I'm watching a game live from the dump. I can see the Brewers play the Cubs more conveniently at home. For my personal enjoyment watching the game, there's a better chance of me seeing the win at my stadium. But yet there's something about watching the Cubs lose at Wrigley. Yeah. And it just feels so good. And I'm not exactly sure why that's the case, because I'm with you. If it was, all right, out of 6 games, 2 series, one the Brewers are going to sweep, the other one they're going to lose 2 or 3. And you got to decide where they are. I'm taking the sweep at Wrigley and losing 2 or 3 at home. But why am I doing that? That just feels wrong.
Have you been to the dump?
I have, and it was a dump.
It is a dump. I was having a conversation yesterday with a Cubs fan who happens to also be the personal trainer I hired.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Make me less flabby. I wasn't aware beforehand that I should come up with prerequisite questions. Do you know what you're doing from a training aspect? Yes, he's the best. Perfect. You're in shape. That's a good sign. Are you a Cubs fan by chance? Yeah. Ooh, we're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be it.
He compared Lambeau Field to Wrigley Field. And he was like, dude, this stadium's just as old. And I said, dude, nothing about that stadium other than the foundation is just that old, and maybe the bleachers.
Yeah.
Other than that, this place is immaculate. Look at your dump and tell me that is even close to compare.
Yeah, I think that's the wrong reason for you to get your blood pressure up when you're with your personal trainer. But, I don't know.
There was. We have a problem in my house. We went to turn on the air conditioning unit because it got to 78, and anytime it gets above 74, our house is uncomfortable. So we just usually turn it. Yeah. Didn't work. AC, there's a brand new friggin' house. It's the second time ever we've turned the AC on ever. Nothing.
Oh.
So luckily it's all under, you would think, warranty.
Yeah. Home warranty, yeah.
So would you rather in the springtime when you turn on the AC have that not work, or in the fall when you turn on the heat for the first time and you got no heat?
Yeah, I'd much rather not have heat in the fall. I actually, that's my favorite time to not turn anything on is the fall. Open the windows, feel that crisp air, put on a sweatshirt, maybe throw a blanket over you when you're watching TV on the couch. I love that. Do not take away my ability to have air conditioning.
So hot the night before. And we
that's
go,
the worst.
Our oldest was like, guys, can we just, bite the bullet and put the AC? Yeah, no problem, bud. Like, turn it on and nothing happens. And he was less than impressed.
Yeah. Did you plug it in?
Plug it in. Is there an outlet?
Make sure it's plugged in.
God, can you imagine if somehow... This sounds so dumb. That is not plugged in. That is hardwired.
Yeah, but right. You're like, right?
Right.
Now I'm thinking about it.
God.
I can't be that dumb, right? I love if someone came over to the house. Oh yeah, I found the problem. You didn't plug it in.
That would be awful.
All right. Would you rather? This is Hate Watch edition. Would you rather watch PCA struggle or watch Wilson Contreras struggle?
Oh, I have so many more reasons to hate Wilson Contreras right now. That's what I was asking earlier when we talked about the PCA and his bit of a blunder of an evening at Wrigley Field, which we played for the most electrifying sound of the day. I don't know that I have as much against him as just the normal, he's on the Cubs, so I hate him type of thing. Wilson Contreras has picked the fight and lit the pilot light of anger.
Sure.
He is... lucky we're not seeing him again.
Yeah, I still would much rather watch PCA struggle. Mostly because he's a Cub.
Yeah.
But also because he's a dork. I don't like him.
PCA. We talked earlier that the NFL at their spring owners meetings not only increased the number of games overseas potentially from 8 to 10, but also voted that you can. Yes, I checked the breaker, JB in the 912. Here we go. Now, is it plugged in?
Flip the breaker on.
Jesus.
Everyone coming in with their tips.
Yep.
Tips and tricks.
All of those things happened last night. All of them.
Did you try reset it?
I did all of them. I'll tell you the whole. You can't protect a home game anymore in the NFL, which you used to be able to do so that you could prevent yourself from losing a big home game to an overseas venue. So let's hypothetically say the Packers are going to lose one of those home divisional games in 2027, and it's going to go overseas. Would you rather lose a game at home against the Bears or the Vikings?
I would rather lose one against the Vikings.
Keep the Bears.
Keep the Bears at home. I do not want to play I do not want Packers Bears overseas. Nope. That needs to stay in the Midwest, please. Need that.
I think I agree.
Last one for me. It's late night. You've had some fun. You're hungry. You're going to get some food. Would you rather have late night pizza or late night anything else?
We are a late night Taco Bell house.
Yes.
But the problem with that was that when we were on the way home from Luke Combs late at night this last weekend, the line for Taco Bell was, not kidding, 20 cars deep.
Yeah. You know why? Because everyone else thinks late night Taco Bell is the answer to. We were just, it was one of the things on the cruise that when I was doing that with the Roosevelt's insiders, that the cruise had, the only place that like had food was their pizza place open after 11. And so it was like every night, late night was pizza. And part of me was like, man, yeah, really go for something else. Like you think about like after a wedding, the late night meal, sometimes it's pizza, other times it's like a taco bar, something like that. I think I'm leaning more taco bar for the late night meal. Still love pizza. It's like I'll have pizza for dinner, and then the late night meal is tacos.
Honorable mention to a bowl of cereal.
I
don't know why.
Interesting. A little breakfast before bed, huh?
Rush Cinnamon Toast Crunch late at night.
Yeah, I haven't ate it since last week when we talked.
Me neither, actually. When we come back, we'll get to your would you rathers, and also, oh my God, are there 1,000 professional HVAC people listening to our show right now?
Of course there are.
Or maybe they're not and just have sound. I'm getting text messages on the sides from some of my best friends in life. 2 of which, right away, did you check the breaker? I did in the breaker box, but if there's another breaker.
Hey, if you're listening right now, go ahead and text in 414-677-1250. Ask Trevor if he's checked the breaker.
I flipped the breakers on and off to make sure it wasn't a breaker.
30 people texting
literally
about the breaker
already. Oh, by the way, I'll save these. We'll just go ahead and I'm going to write all. I tell you what, when in the break, after I get off the phone for the 3rd time with the HVAC company, who I have told I'm live on the radio right now. I don't have long to sit and explain all of this to you. They don't care. So in the break, I'm going to call and just confirm they're coming today for the 3rd time. And then I'll share with all of you what the potential problem that you may think is. Andy in Brookfield, flux capacitor. Get out. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Never seen that movie either. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Check the breaker. The Queen of Spice is heating up breakfast at Wendy's with new items like their jalapeno sausage, egg and cheese biscuit, jalapeno bacon, egg and cheese biscuit, and a spicy side twist of jalapeno bacon seasoned potatoes. Available for a limited time, so get a bite while you can and spice up your morning at Wendy's.
Would you rather Wednesday on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh? Mid HVAC specialists.
Oh, by the way, did you check the breaker?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you mean the breaker in the breaker box, yes. I flipped 2 breakers. The one for the AC and the one for the furnace, which now somebody's going to be like, oh my God, you didn't do that. Tell me you didn't do that. To try to get my AC working. Not so much. They're on the way. Help is on the way.
Yay.
Question. This house is less than 2 years old. Why do I have to pay a dispatch fee to send somebody to my house to check on the all but brand new equipment?
Well, that's not the company that's coming to take a look at its fault.
What do you mean?
What? Like, what are you saying? They're the ones that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, if it has something to do with installation, sir, there's no fee. But if it has something to do with, like this is under warranty, then there'll be a fee.
Yeah, I don't know.
For what?
I don't know. Should have called Best. Should have called Best Electric. They would have taken care of it.
They don't work here.
I'll come up there for you.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Did I check the brinker? Okay, this is just getting ridiculous now. Here's a good one from Bob in Minneapolis on a Would You Rather Wednesday. He said, would you rather have had Rodgers and Belichick teamed up at the height of their career or Mike McCarthy and Tom Brady?
Oh. Well, I think probably Belichick, Roger. I don't know.
Belichick was kind of DS without Tom Brady.
Right.
That flipped quick.
True.
And Tom Brady went to Tampa and won a Super Bowl without Bill Belichick.
Yeah. So I guess you'd go Brady.
Gotta. I think McCarthy and Brady. Now, on the flip side, McCarthy and Rodgers got there once. And I heard this argument yesterday. I believe it was on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Rodgers only made it to the Super Bowl once. Favre at least made it twice with Holmgren. So is McCarthy the problem? Doesn't seem like it. Rodgers had all of the ample opportunity, and he's had some since then and hasn't gotten back there.
People that have listened to me on the radio in a former life know that I refer to Tom Brady as the LOAT. Not the GOAT, the LOAT. He is the luckiest of all time.
Really?
Yes, because there is something to be said about finding yourself in those positions. It's not all skill. Getting to that point. And then you look at like the Super Bowls that he won and, like just who had impactful games and the ways that he came away with victories in those games. And you go, God, this guy's the luckiest of all time. So I think having the luckiest guy of all time on your team certainly will help you. He's the LOAT.
There's a lot of people asking about a fuse box outside. So help me God, if I took someone's advice last fall to flip off that switch for God knows whatever reason, and that's what it is, I am not going to tell you.
I am not okay with that. I will need an answer. We are invested. The 414 says, when you're at the Brewers game, a home game, would you rather sit next to a quiet fan or an outspoken yeller type of fan? Definitely the quiet fan.
Read that again, please.
So you're at American Family Field. You're watching a Brewer game. Next to you, someone you don't know, a fan that either is completely silent the entire game, doesn't clap, doesn't do anything, or a outspoken, let's go, yelling at the field type of fan.
Are they a Brewers fan? Presumably?
It doesn't say. So like, let's just assume that both are Brewers fans.
Because my answer changes if they're not.
Sure, of course. Let's say that they're both Brewers fans.
I want the outspoken one. I want the one that's excited to be there because that gets me more fired up. Whereas if I'm sitting next to Silent Sally, I don't know what I'm allowed to do.
Sure. So it becomes are you worried about someone judging you or are you judging someone else? Right? If you're sitting next to the silent person, then you know all eyes are on you. If you're sitting next to the yeller person, you know all eyes are on that person.
True.
So it really, who do you want to be doing the judging or being the one people are judging? That's a good question.
Okay, I'm going to start taking notes. You do the next 4 minutes of the show. I'm going to write down all the things that people are recommending I should have checked prior to calling said HVAC company. And if one of you is right, I will scroll back and text you and make you just go, hey, you know what? Great job. Rhino, why are you flipping off switches, Trevor? Never flip out. See, told you. Turn it on, shut up, and enjoy your cold air. Tried. McCarthy, Bob says, was the problem. He coached both Favre and Rodgers. He didn't have a great run in Dallas, and it'll be interesting to see what he does with Rodgers in Pittsburgh.
The Trevor's Troll wants to know if maybe when you knocked over your Christmas tree, it turned off the switch. It's a good thought.
No breaker in the garage.
Oh.
Somebody else said that there's a potential wasp nest in some sort of switch, to which I would say, well, then I have a problem with the pest control company that sprays my house, what seems like every other month.
Yeah, just go find where the wasps are. See if the breaker's off.
Good thing I didn't stick my hand in there in the middle. Like, we were out there in the dark last night. I had every intention of getting to bed at a reasonable time to get more than 6 hours of sleep. Who would have thought? Not last night.
Yeah, it's fun. That's fun.
All right. We already prayed. We got it out of the way.
Yep.
Doug Gottlieb is scheduled to appear at 8:01 and 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also confirmed to appear at 8:01 and 30 seconds. That's when we come back on the air. Ish. We really don't know. We just hope the thing plays and we start talking when it's time.
Yeah. I got a good feeling this week.
I do too. And I hope he sticks around for a second segment because we've got some fun conversation to go through with him about the best Wisconsin sports and entertainment atmosphere you've ever been in.
Oh, and don't forget, he also did a few legs of the quadfecta. I can't wait to get his ruling on the argument of quadfecta to trifecta.
God.
Based on it being back-to-back events in the same place of the same event.
And if that is truly I don't think he went both nights.
Probably because he only pulled off a trifecta.
Yeah, right. Whatever trifecta started for him in California. Doug Gottlieb, UW Green Bay men's head basketball coach, and just the name everybody knows and loves, every Wednesday here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't
God
that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Mitchell, a bullet back up the middle. That'll score Terang. Gets away from Amaya. Here comes Churio to score on a wild pitch. And Bowers into right center, a base hit. That will score Contreras. There's a fly ball. Deep left center, headed towards the bleachers, and in the basket and gone. Bryce Terang, a 2-run shot. The Brewers will take that shot in the arm. Ground ball to short. Ortiz. Pro hop, a throw in time, and the Brewers take down the Cubs 5-2. They've secured the series victory and can go for the gravy tomorrow night.
And that's called having a good time.
Damn right.
Brewers 5, Cubs 2. The series ours. And so too is first place all by ourselves in the Central. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studio is powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. A good night at Wrigley Field, and I feel like our guy, Doug Gottlieb, is either tonight, not sure. Let's ask him on the guest hotline. Powered by Gruber Law, one call, that's all. The head coach of the UW Green Bay Phoenix men's basketball team and friend of the program, DG, Doug Gottlieb. DG, were you at the Cubs-Brewers game? Was it last night? Are you going this series?
No, I actually probably should have gone. We have league meetings in Indianapolis. So can you guys hear me, by the way? Like I'm getting
we got you
breaking in and out for me, even though I have full bars. Okay, good. No, we have league meetings in Indy. And I probably, like in hindsight, I should have gone to the game in Chicago, stayed the night in Chicago, got up, driven to Indy today, but decided not to do it that way. So I did not. I watched it on TV, and I watched the NBA game on TV, which is great. And I'm on my way to Indy as we speak.
Are you flying to Indy?
I'm like torn, right? Because no one wants to go through Chicago. But believe it or not, like we landed, I think they finished the runway construction in Chicago. So I'm going to fly, then I'm going to drive back. Someone doesn't fly, I'm going to drive back. The thing is, here's what you don't know, is I'm going to Indy this weekend for the 500. So it's like, so it was like one of those, am I going to drive there, drive back, drive there, drive back? Like I got to break one of these up here. So that's the thinking behind.
Yeah, you're a busy man, DG. There's a lot of things going on that you're a part of, including certain parts of the quadfecta. Tell us what you did. Did you do the Brewer game? Did you do Luke Combs? What parts of it? And then I have a follow-up about getting a ruling as well. But first, what parts of the quadfecta were you a part of?
I only did Luke Combs, but I got super sick. So here's what happened. I was in California last week when I talked to you guys. Right? Yeah. I flew home later that night, and I landed. And when I was landing, like I wasn't feeling good. I kind of had like one of those weird sweats, and I thought it was the exit, and turned out it was the entry. And so I landed in Chicago. I hadn't thrown up in years, and I have like violent yelling at the pavement inside O'Hare. Wait, so here's the crazy part. So like I'm not feeling good. I'm like, man, I gotta go to the restroom. So I go to the restroom, all of a sudden just rah, I'm booting. And
enjoy your breakfast, everyone.
I wash my hands. I'm walking down the terminal in O'Hare, and I hear this Doug Gottlieb. And I stop and I turn around, and it's Rich Paul. So Rich Paul, who I had never met, that's like LeBron James's agent. Right? Mm-hmm. He's like agent for the Star. So he was in Chicago for the pre-draft, and he's like, yo, man, what up? We're like, start talking. And I'm walking away. I'm going like, I wash my hands and I try to maintain my distance. But if Rich Paul gets violently ill, like I'm that guy.
It was you.
Clearly, I did that.
Yeah.
That's me. I did that. So anyway, so then.
Hey, how you doing? I just
I'm
puked
like,
everywhere.
damn. So then Thursday was the Brewers game. And I'm like, and there's some older guys on this like party bus. And I'm like, I don't want to get everybody sick for the weekend, right? So I shut it down. I stayed inside. And the first time I came out of my house was Friday night. I had Luke Combs tickets, so I went and saw the show. So I did not do the quadfecta. I was just I did the Luke Combs show, which was okay. It was okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
So that
and
leads
what's going to
to
happen is people are going to go like, oh, you're a blah, 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 blah hater. Like, no, like I like Luke Combs' music. He's a good concert. It's just the dynamic of that many people. It takes a special sort of ability to keep everybody engaged. And your songs kind of have to be anthems. And I don't think he's there. Whereas like
5
Chesney,
slow songs in a row doesn't help him either.
Yeah, he also went to the new album. You know.
Yeah, play the hits. Play the hits. Come on, just play the hits. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that brought up a huge point yesterday on the show, Doug, of the definition of a quadfecta, right? We heard all about Trevor's plans. He did Shinedown, then he did the Brewer game, then he did Luke Combs.
And then I did Luke Combs.
And then he did Luke Combs. And some people were chiming in and saying, if you're doing the same event at the same location, it's not a quadfecta, it's a trifecta. You did 3 things. Your ruling.
I agree with the quad. It's a trifecta, not a quadfecta. I also think I wasn't listening earlier, so I take it I'm agreeing with Josh. But I would also tell you that like 2 nights in a row, Luke Combs is a lot.
It was a lot. That's why it's the quadfecta. It was a lot.
It's a lot. It's like one of those like I'm gonna pretend like he's gonna bring some guys up on the stage, and I'm surprised. Like, oh my God, Packers on stage to chug beers. Oh my God. I did hear Saturday night was better than Friday night.
It was. It was.
Can I ask Can I ask a random, not originally from Green Bay question?
Sure.
Why do they face north with the stage, as opposed to facing south, where you would have, I don't know what the new kind of tier of seats? Is it because of the fireworks?
Calling me. I got this one. The round is
Trevor.
the planned. Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So every other concert that Luke Combs does is in the round in these stadiums. The stage is in the middle.
Yes.
And not at Lambeau Field, baby. That stage is in the south end zone because that's where the trucks are allowed to drive on and off the field. You don't put anything on the G, and you certainly don't drive all the way across the field to set something up in the north end zone. So that's why it's in the south end zone, is because the loading dock is right there at Lambeau Field.
Well, couldn't have got a better night. I mean, Friday night weather-wise was unbelievable.
For the trifecta.
So,
yeah.
For the trifecta. It's a great trifecta.
That's such crap. Listen, what if it was days apart? This is so dumb, and people are so over it.
If you went to 2 Brewers games,
yeah,
same thing. You wouldn't have added to it, would you? You wouldn't have said that's a quadfecta. If you went to the Sunday Brewers game. No, if you went to the Sunday Brewers game.
It's an event I have to attend. It's not like I'm not watching a game in my house. That doesn't. Yeah. Well, okay. So like, if Luke Combs was on Wednesday, Shinedown was on Thursday, the Brewers game was on Friday, and Luke Combs was on Saturday, is that a quadfecta?
No, you did the same event twice.
Yes.
I made up the word too.
I love this so much because here's why I played this devil's advocate with him yesterday. Because when you're telling people what you did over the weekend, you're not saying I went to Luke Combs. You're saying I went to Luke. I saw Luke Combs. You don't say twice. You say that you just went to an event. If it's the same thing, if you go on a trip and you're going to go see the Brewers play a road series, you're going to say, and then I'm going to go see the Brewers play. You're not going to say, Well, now I'm going to see the Brewers play, and then I'm going to see the Brewers play. You're going to one type of event.
Well, good news. Based on how I felt on Sunday, the quadfecta will never be a problem again because I'm never doing it again. Not happening.
You were like FaceTiming me at the concert, too. That was, did you mean to FaceTime me, or was that a butt dial?
I've done that twice now, and you've picked up neither time. So one of these times you're going to want to pick up. You're just
I was like with people.
I know.
You're like talking to people like, hold on, actual in-person conversation. Dude who's been drinking a lot is FaceTiming me from random location. I don't know what's going to happen when I press this button, but let me just stop my actual real interaction with another human being because Trevor has to be seen at D2 having a shot, inviting me over to have one. That's really what's happening.
That's exactly probably what it was inviting you over to have one. What time of the day was this?
7 o'clock.
Hey,
it was 7 o'clock.
Hey, Doug.
It was like 7:02 p.m.
Where are you? Look where I am.
It was like a where are you sitting thing, which I could have just
5:04. The stadium. I wasn't inside. I was out tailgating. I absolutely was wondering where you were and if you wanted to come have a beer. That's 100% chance what it was.
Oh.
And I wasn't drinking a lot yet.
By
that time. Okay, maybe like 3 hours.
Oh.
Doug Gottlieb. Jeez. I'm starting to understand why people think I'm an alcoholic.
Oh, that's so fun.
I have some potentially really interesting news that you guys may like that we can share. I just don't know where we are in the segment, if I'm going to be brought back for another segment.
You're definitely coming back.
Okay.
Yep.
So
we got more to talk about, but go ahead. Why don't you share your news now?
Well,
while you're being called to board your plane.
No, I'm not. My plane's not till 9:05. We'll get to it.
Oh, good.
It appears, so the NCAA has changed a bunch of rules, with scheduling. So hardest thing to do is scheduling. I do believe that we're going to have two unbelievable opportunities in exhibition games. Forget about games. We're going to get some good games too, but exhibition games at the Crash and potentially the Resh as well, including a local legend coming home and one of the other Division I schools in the state coming and playing an exhibition, hopefully at the Resh, not the Crest, because there'll be too many people who want to see that one.
Oh.
Okay, so 50-50 shot on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Wisconsin?
It's not Wisconsin.
I didn't think so.
Oh.
I mean, listen, if they want to come up and hoop, they can come up and hoop anytime. Like
they're not going to come up. We beat them here in Green Bay. They don't do that.
No, but exhibition, and we do a deal where we go back and play on a bye game the next year, which we're doing with Bradley. So, but no, I think we're going to make this thing work with Shaka, and I'm super excited because
that's awesome.
They're going to be really good next year, and it gets them out of their little Milwaukee cocoon. And if you look at the Packers' schedule, there's a pretty big game that happens to be a gold ticket game. And the thought is, what if we did an exhibition at the Resh the night before that game, where Milwaukee people who are staying overnight can stay overnight and come see a really good hoop game with a couple of their favorite basketball teams.
So we're talking October.
Sounds like the start of a really good quadfecta.
Yeah, it does.
If you ask me.
That is a good, or trifecta if it's only three things.
Yeah, well,
doing four.
So if you go to Marquette, Green Bay at the Resh on Friday, if you go to Shinedown at Epic on Thursday, and Marquette and Green Bay at the Resh if you go to somewhere whoever plays at Epic on Friday, then you go to Marquette, Green Bay at the Resh on Saturday. Then you go to Packers and Bears Sunday at Lambeau. That's a trifecta.
Yes.
That's how the trifecta started.
Yes.
And I thought 4 events in a row would have qualified, but I have been taught that it does not. And that's okay. So wait, the local legend, though, we haven't gotten to this one. Is it a coach? Is it a coach?
No. Come on, dude.
Stumped on this. Well, hold on. Why should it's definitely not somebody that transferred out of your program because they're not like,
no,
yeah,
he was never offered a scholarship to the program. This is before me. Before Sonny.
Wait a minute. Illinois State. Yeah, let's go. So he's talking about Illinois State and a kid from De Pere. Now he's got a brother. So which one plays at Illinois State and which one plays at Wisconsin? That I don't know off the top of my head. Johnny plays at Illinois State?
Johnny Kinzinger, yeah.
So Johnny Kinzinger, phenomenal athlete, plays at Illinois State. A huge miss on GB's part not to offer him a scholarship. We would all agree.
Yeah. I mean, I, again, wasn't here. Don't know the thinking behind it. So
cool.
He's been a all-conference guy in the Valley, and they are loaded. They are really, really good. And I think it'd be a great thing for Giant to come home and get a chance to, for our guys to play against probably the preseason pick to win the Valley and get us ready for our schedule. In addition to which, like, that kid deserves some shine. He's a great kid, great player. Come back home, and I'm sure the De Pere bring their whole high school program over. And the question, that one, we're going to try and figure out the timing of it. You know, I wanted to do that one morning of the Cowboys game. I don't know if that works for them. So, because the Cowboys game's at night, like October, mid October or whatever. Yeah, 18th.
Mm-hmm.
So might do that one. Might do that one the
game.
24th. Yeah, I might do that one the 24th. So
they're away at Carolina that weekend. That makes sense. Yeah. Doug Gottlieb, head coach, UWGB men's basketball, and friend of the program. When we get back, DG, put your thinking cap on. We want to know the best Wisconsin sports and entertainment atmosphere you've been in so far. And we'll ask all of you statewide on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, what's the best Wisconsin sports and entertainment atmosphere you've ever been in? Could it be Brewers Cubs last playoffs at AmFam Field? Doesn't sound like it's going to be Luke Combs this past weekend at Lambeau.
No, I don't think so.
Or maybe it was Kenny Chesney at Lambeau. That's up there on my list. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talking text line. DG sticks around. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Brewers are looking for the broom as they try to sweep the Cubs tonight in Chicago. Tommy Wartz in the leadoff show will get you ready for the third day in a row this afternoon, starting at 5 here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Trevor and Josh inside Wisconsin Sports. Doug Gottlieb, the head coach of UWGB men's basketball, joining us for the conversation of what is the best Wisconsin sports and entertainment atmosphere you've been in. Cubs Brewers playoffs comes to mind. Ironically, DG, when Wisconsin was last in Green Bay playing at the Resch against the Phoenix, that's way up on my list of atmospheres that I will never forget. And GB won that day.
Yeah, we'd love to have him back. For me, trying to think which Packer game was probably the best. You know, honestly, the Texans game 2 years ago. And honestly, part of it was I was sitting in the lower bowl, and it was then that I realized that there's like 3 different stadiums in one in Lambeau, right? You sit in the lower bowl, it's a totally different experience. Plus, it was a great game. For us, obviously, that I thought the ESPN2 game this year against Fort Wayne for a college basketball game was a great atmosphere. But I mean, I wasn't at a Bucks NBA Finals game, and I haven't been to a Brewers playoff game. So there's my 2. Go ahead, Josh. You won in on this, I'm sure.
I mean, you just nailed it though. That was it for me. Was Game 6, 2021, and it was absolutely insane inside of Fiserv, and yet the atmosphere. You want to talk about atmosphere? The atmosphere in the Deer District right outside the stadium was legitimately nuts. I mean, we could hear the screaming outside, inside the stadium. We could hear the fans with how loud they were, how packed that outside area right outside of Fiserv was. I still watch like highlights of that, and ESPN had their camera that was on wires that would, do the pan shot across the whole. There were so many people stuffed into that area like sardines. Just, it didn't matter if you knew the person next to you or not, just hugging, celebrating, going crazy. That was without a doubt the best atmosphere I've been at for a Wisconsin sporting event.
I got to be honest. There's not a team that I cheer for or I love that I would ever go to a place adjacent to the stadium to watch it on TV with a bunch of people I don't know in my personal space. And I love people. That's one I don't get. Didn't get it with Toronto, don't get it with the Deer District. I don't get it with any of it. Like, wait, so we're going to the game, we don't get to go to the game, we watch the game, and then a bunch of people act like we're in the game and celebrate with the game? Yeah, that's I'm sure for some people it's a seminal moment. For me, it's I don't. Because did you have to pay to park to sit and watch the game on TV? It's way better to watch it on TV in your own house.
When you put it like that,
I would have thought the same thing, but the atmosphere that was created by people who disagree with you made it to where it was damn, I wish I would have been there for people that weren't.
Have you guys ever gone to one of those viewing parties where you go to Fiserv or you go wherever and you watch the same team play, but they're playing on the road? That's the one I really don't get. So you go, you sit in the arena, you pay prices to get a hot dog, but the game is on the big screen, which you could have been watching at home.
That's so interesting because that actually is on my bucket list to watch one of my favorite teams from their own stadium when they're not in there. Like if the Packers wanted to open Lambeau Field, which they won't because it's going to be freezing ass cold in the middle of February when it's the Super Bowl, whether the Packers are in it or not. But let's just say they were in it and they opened Lambeau. I'm 100% there. That would be amazing in terms of atmosphere. Actually, Robbie and Trempolo brings up one that involves Lambeau too, but it has nothing to do with the game. I think both of you guys were there. If not, you missed it. When the Packers drafted Matthew Golden, it was unbelievable in terms of atmosphere. Nothing, frankly, will compare to that because there wasn't a game. You would have thought we just won the Super Bowl by drafting a receiver in the first round.
Well, I also think that Mark Murphy sold it really well, right?
Oh, really well.
You go back and he goes, the Packers choose a wide receiver. It was like a little, just the right pause to it and then build up to it. I thought that was pretty big. But yeah, I honestly that has to be included on there just because I don't think it's ever going to happen again, right?
You don't think so?
No.
Huh. There's a lot of people that think it is going to happen in Green Bay again, and there's even more that say within the next decade because it went that well.
Yeah, they have so many people to please. They're going to have to be out in LA. Once they get in LA, I think they'll probably stay there. But if you just because they have their studios right there, it costs them no money. But there's so many. Remember, there's 32 teams. You got all these other. Well, why don't we get the NFL draft? Why don't we get the NFL draft? So, I don't think you're going to get it again. Definitely not in the next decade. That would be my guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, don't like that.
414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law talking. Do you have to board your plane, bud?
No, I'm just trying to find out what. Oh, there it is. C10. So it's right here. I'm in the right place. I'm good.
It was delayed an hour.
What time does your flight take off?
9:05.
So I feel like they close the gate in less than 5 minutes. You have to be boarded before a 30 minute. I mean, you fly a lot more than I do, don't
No, 15 minutes closed when the gate closes.
Got it. We got time.
And at at GRB, GRB's in the conversation along with the Duke, John Wayne Airport, of greatest airports ever. I literally showed up today, 6:30 flight. I got on the plane at about 6:17. So that place is the best.
Oh wow, that's insane. And you did?
Yeah, I want the door. I want the door to hit me as they close the door. That's my goal. If the door hits me as they close it, I'm a good spot.
So are you planning to go to Notre Dame, Wisconsin Badgers at Lambeau Field on Labor Day? You aware of that's happening?
We're actually putting together a really cool dinner the night before that game, hopefully at the bar, where I'm going to bring in a bunch of college football talking heads and former players and whatever. So, yeah, Notre Dame, Domers against the Badgers. Absolutely. I wouldn't be there.
It's going to be a blast. That's an atmosphere that we're not going to miss. So we don't know how it's going to be yet, but it ain't going to be one that we miss. Doug Gottlieb joining us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline. Josh, the one that you and I often talk about is Woody's home run in Game 1 of the 2018 NLCS. That's way up there in terms of atmosphere, but that was more of a moment,
right?
And not so. I mean, it's not that the atmosphere was bad. Lane Grindle, I've said this before, was the PA announcer that day. The towels were out. It was a great atmosphere, but that moment was absurd.
Yeah, that's specific to an atmosphere in a moment. There are just certain sporting events and times that you go to it to where even when the action isn't at its apex, it's still crazy to where you kind of just take yourself out of it and go, is this happening right now? Look at all of these people. And what's always blown my mind, Doug, and since we have you on, is I never have felt like a Final Four has that atmosphere. And I don't know if it's just because of my personal view of it or just the amount of people that are in the building at one time, but it doesn't seem like with that amount of people watching a basketball game for a national championship or to go to one, that people are losing their minds. It's not super loud, the crowd. I just don't get that type of atmospheric feel at a Final Four.
It's a great question. How many have you been to?
I've been to one.
Okay, which one was that?
The 2013. It was in Atlanta.
Yeah, okay.
Michigan ended up winning it.
I was on the set for that one.
Louisville did, I think.
With CBS, yeah. Louisville did. Michigan probably should have a big block shot that was called a foul on Trey Burke. Anyway, part of it is there's location based. I would say there's a lot to it. First, it's all what you compare it to. If you compare it to a regular season college basketball game, it can't compare because it's so much bigger, right? But if you go you can barely see anything from the seats up high. Okay, but you've been to a Major League Baseball game, you've been to a playoff game, you're in the third deck. Can you really see if it's a strike or a ball with your naked eye? Of course you can't.
No, but
anything.
I'm screaming my head off.
Right, but that's also because it's a home site. You're at a neutral site. Okay,
neutral site.
If you compare it to other neutral sites, it's way better than the Super Bowl because it's all fans. It's not as corporate as the Super Bowl is. Is it as good? It's not as good probably as most bowl games, the real back when it was a real bowl game, like you're really at the Rose Bowl and they have half the Big Ten, half the Pac-10 or whatever. But now with some of the college football games, some of those sites early on in the playoffs aren't great. So it can actually be better than that. I think Final Four is awesome, but they're all basketball fans, right? It's not a lot of corporate. So I would disagree with you in general premise. I would say outside of that, it depends upon the quality of the game, teams that are playing. Like the Minnesota Final Four where Virginia won was unbelievable. One, because that place is great, and two, because the games were great, right? In Houston, which was the year after or 2 years after the one you went to, when Villanova hit the game winner, Chris Jenkins at the buzzer. That was an unbelievable atmosphere. And Houston's way too big, and there were no local schools, but it was such good basketball, and it was Carolina, and that one was great. That one felt like a gym, even though it's a gargantuan one. I do think that those things are really big. It's really impersonal. And again, I'm with you. It's a lot like what I just said with you're going to a game, you can't actually see the game. That's not, I'm a seat snob. I'm only going to sit somewhere I can actually see the action or be close to it. So I do understand your feeling. I would say it's all contextual. If you pair it versus home road, I went to Camp Randall and it was better. Well, yeah, of course it was better. It was on campus at Wisconsin. But if you compare it to neutral site stuff, I think it's the most fan-friendly one, and it's a little bit better than you think.
I think that's a great point you brought up, though, of neutral site. When we look at like the best atmosphere that we've enjoyed watching a Wisconsin team, I don't know, like when you just think about the amount of money you're spending to go see a big game, it's still going to be at a neutral site, whether it be a Super Bowl, Final Four. I mean, take your pick, unless it's the World Series, right? Like that, you have that home atmosphere. But you talk about some of these big events where you spend a lot of money and the atmosphere, at least from what we're used to, you're not going to experience that on a neutral site.
Generally, you
Good
won't.
Point.
Generally, you won't. Hey, I have a question. Did either of you guys watch the games the past 2 nights?
No.
No.
NBA
I saw the highlights. I didn't watch
Brewers,
the whole thing
bud.
through.
Brewers Cubs.
Yeah. I mean, crazy comeback for the Knicks, but
crazy comeback for the Knicks. And the night before when the Spurs beat the Thunder in double overtime is about as good a basketball game as I've seen in a long time. Which brings me to here's a very specific thing, okay? Just because you cook on a grill does not mean you're barbecuing. We're not barbecuing. Like I'm barbecuing. Like, no, you're grilling. That's not necessarily barbecuing. And just because you will watch a basketball game does not make you a basketball fan. So I just don't want Trevor especially to go like, I'm a huge basketball fan. What did you think of the game last night? Didn't see it. What did you think of the game the night before? Didn't see it. Did you watch sports on TV? Yes. Did you watch the NBA on TV? No. Just you can say, I'm a big sports fan. Are you a big basketball fan? Like, yeah, when my team's involved, right? Please don't say you're a basketball fan. And then when somebody goes like, hey, what'd you think of the game? How about Wemby? 40 and 20, unbelievable. You're like, didn't watch it. Okay?
I say I'm a college basketball fan.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
You watch non-UWGB, University of Wisconsin, or Marquette. If those 3 teams aren't playing, you're watching college basketball.
No.
Okay.
So you're not a college basketball fan. You're a local sports fan. You know what I do?
Does your air conditioning work?
Don't change the subject.
Shut up. I'm just trying to change the subject. I went to turn my AC on. It didn't go on. And somebody literally texted, I bet you Doug's air conditioning works.
We just opened the door. You're not. You feel like you are, but you're not. You're not.
Why is it always me? It's always me. Somebody literally just listen to this. A few texts ago. I love that Doug doesn't pick favorites. Trevor, we're friends sometimes. That's great.
Well, to be fair, I've never FaceTimed Doug randomly.
You should.
From a bar.
He's not going to pick
for
up
no
anyway.
reason to just tell him, hey, I'm about to slam a shot. So,
Have a great time in India. I hope your chip basket is full.
Transition.
You did send me that text the other day of now I get Josh. now I get these random texts about chips from Trevor. Like,
Oh,
is
yeah.
this okay? Is this okay to throw away? What do you this is pathetic. Look at these chips. These are pathetic.
Yeah, he definitely lets things go for sure. He definitely doesn't harbor any resentment at all.
Is it your flight boarding? I feel like this is how the conversation ends every week.
Gotta go, flight boarding.
All right,
hey, buddy. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy New Year.
Happy Wednesday. Thanks, Doug.
I love it. I
Oh,
love
that's
it.
great.
I don't care if I'm the butt. I love being the butt of the joke. I love having him on. And I absolutely am not a Cubs fan on WGN. Trevor's troll. God.
Well,
But
they're
I'm a
not on
baseball-
WGN.
So wait,
anymore,
am I
so-
baseball? Wait, so are you saying that if I don't watch any other sport on TV other than the teams that I love, I can't call? This is a whole different subject.
It really is. Yeah.
Because I don't think this is true at all.
What then you're not a fan of that sport? So
Yeah, I'm not buying that at all. I have watched more baseball games than any other sport. Basketball is a close second. Football is after that. But rarely do I miss a game if our team is playing in it.
Sure.
So it's not like I'm just a Brewers fan, because if I was just a Brewers fan, I would be able to read the paper or go on Twitter and just see the final score and go, oh, cool, they won.
I don't think that's necessarily true. If you're a Brewers fan, you're watching the Brewers. I don't think you need to watch every baseball game to be a baseball fan. However, I do think that you still keep up on what other teams are doing. I think that you still watch the postseason. I think you still find those things interesting. I think that's his point about basketball, is that if you're a basketball fan, even if you can't catch every game, you're paying attention and trying to watch, the conference finals, the finals, to be a part of it, because you also enjoy the game of basketball.
Okay, but I do, and I'm not going to schedule that. Does that, like, if it's on and I have nothing else going on, then I'm not opposed to turning it on, but my interest level isn't anywhere near what it would be if it was one of our teams. That's why the name is Inside Wisconsin.
Yeah. Right.
Literally.
Right. I just think that that's the point he's trying to make, is that it's if you find zero interest, like if for your job you didn't need to care about basketball beyond the Bucks, would you watch or even know who's in the conference final? Like, would you even
NBA?
know? Yeah.
No.
Right.
College? Yes.
Okay.
Like, obviously I'm an interested tournament watcher.
Yeah.
I know of the teams. I know the top 20. Like, I love college basketball.
So for me, I admit I'm not a huge college football fan. I don't like the system. It doesn't provide that juice for me if it's not my team. Complete opposite with college basketball. I will watch the hell out of the tournament even when my teams are eliminated. Because I'm just a fan of that product. It's not the case with college football. You couldn't tell me. I don't know who played in the Rose Bowl last year. No clue. I got nothing.
715 as we go to break. All right, Doug, I'm not a basketball fan. Fine, because the NBA is
something. Yep.
But. Yeah, literal but. All right, when we come back, John Kuhn joins us from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. At least that's the prayer. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes Rami walks in. We're like, oh, it's Rami today. We think it's Kuhn. We'll ask him this question. Can we be fans of sports without watching or staying up on all of the sports within that sporting group? That wasn't confusing at all. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Wendy's new cookie dough Frosty Fusion is the ultimate feel-good snack. Everything from the cookie dough to the brownie batter sauce was made for maximum happiness. Go grab a new cookie dough Frosty Fusion today and get that dopamine flowing. For the ultimate feel-good snack, it's got to be Wendy's.
Trevor and Josh inside Wisconsin sports, crossing over with John Kuhn from 9 to noon with John Kuhn. I just heard in a promo there that it's actually with John Kuhn for a change. Have you been out for a minute, Bud? What am I missing?
Well, I mean, doesn't that say something about the time of year that I've been out, you've been out, Josh been out, Josh will be out.
Yep.
I mean, that's just, it's this time of year. It's the other than right now, baseball. I mean, we have the NBA finals. We had a PGA championship last weekend. Did you guys partake in that? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I was really hoping for a better finish on Sunday when I looked at the board and everybody was 4 and 5 under. I was like, whoa, we could have like a 12-person playoff. Not so much.
Isn't that weird how many golf tournaments you roll into and at the end on Saturday, you're like, woo, Sunday looks like it could be great. I mean, I'd love to see a 6-person horse race here at the end, but no, didn't turn out that way. Still thought it was a spectacular finish in our second major of the year. But hey, it's the dead time of the year. Guys got to do what they got to do.
All right, so based on that, then, we were just talking to Doug Gottlieb, and we want your take on this. I'm a Wisconsin sports fan. I rarely miss something that involves a team from Wisconsin, specifically my favorite teams, Packers, Brewers, Badgers, Green Bay. The NBA is lower on my list, and if the Bucks aren't playing, I'm not really interested in the NBA Finals, and many people are chiming in, which Doug would say, well, then you're not a basketball fan. I disagree.
You're missing out right now. I mean, these finals, they have kicked off with a bang. And in each round, we've had a good series or two. In the first round, we had the comeback there, but Detroit against Orlando. We had a great 7-game series, couple 7-game series here in the second round. And you have now finals on the East and West, both of them in game one, go to overtime at 101 points. It's not that 113, 114 score at the end of the third quarter that we see so regularly during the regular season. This is these teams are banging, these teams are grinding it out on the court and giving everything they got to go to overtime last night. Like the Knicks come back down 22 with about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I saw win percentage was at 99.9% for the Cavs last night. Can't get the job done. And now that thing flips on its head after you think, man, the Cavs might steal one on the road. This could be a must win tonight for the defending champs at home. Can't go down 0-2.
It's true. That's true. Although
Trevor's like, basketball? Oh yeah. Forgot I have to say something about
it. NBA. No. I was looking at Josh going, Josh hasn't chimed in at all. So I thought he was going to jump in.
I'm watching. I'm watching this. I'm really, and actually had multiple people text last week, John, you and Doug went at each other. This week, Doug made a statement and the listeners are going at each other because it seems like everyone is disagreeing with Doug on this standpoint of if you only watch your team, you're not a fan of the sport, you're a fan of the team. And people are going at him, going, that's BS. I don't need to watch every Major League Baseball game to enjoy baseball.
Somebody just said I wouldn't even open my curtains if the NBA Finals were on in my backyard.
Yeah. See, and there's different strokes for different folks and different levels of passion for those sports. I guarantee you, I'd be surprised if half of our listeners, if half of the Nooners out there watched the PGA Championship this weekend. I'd be surprised, but I love it. And I tuned in and I had it on the TV regularly. So it's just what you like. It's what you're into. And you can be a basketball fan without watching every single game. I would say being a basketball fan and missing all 14 potential games of the Eastern Conference Finals, that might be questionable. Or every single game in the NBA Finals, that might be questionable, even if they're not your teams. I mean, you'd think you'd tune in for a little bit here, especially if you're a sports radio host in the state of Wisconsin. You got to be able to talk a little bit about what the games have gone.
Nah, if it doesn't involve Wisconsin, I'm out. That's why 9 to noon is next. So if you want to learn about that, listen then. John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, 9 to noon on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Josh, fly safe. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, buddy.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. See you tomorrow.
Because we're not done yet.